Hi everyone, this is Diana Palm, the Love Witch, and today I'm with a very, very special guest, Walking Crow. I met him last week in a sacred drum ceremony, and I was so impressed that I really wanted to introduce him to all of you and share his transformational drumming with you.
Hi everybody.
Welcome.
Diana. Thank you.
So can you tell us about the sacred drum ceremony that you shared with us?
Yes, the sacred drum ceremony was really about teaching people the songs from a different perspective, teaching them to drum from a different perspective, not your typical drumming, but drumming from the heart, from the soul, from the corpuscles, from the ancient ones, from the universe, from all places within the body and outside the body, but in a way that's sacred and meaningful, like a tear, like crying. In the tradition of ranchero music from Mexico, they sing the song and they get to a point where they're about to cry. They bring you to the brink and then they bring you back. And what I like to do is I like to bring you through many brinks of the medicine song and even the drumming. The tempos will change, and I'll use that to shift. And then I'll even stop drumming and just sing a cappella. So that was really the point of last Friday's drum ceremony.
And didn't you connect the two with like emotional release? Wasn't that connected with?
Yes. We talked earlier, and the sound of the drum is the first sound that we heard in utero. And
I love how you explain that.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense.
And we get pushed out through what I call the canal, the channel. And I mentioned that the other night, of the divine feminine and into the light, and we get placed to the breast. So we've been feeding from the heart, lungs, air, love, love, right? The whole time for 9 months. 9 is the number of spiritual completion. Remember that. So then we get placed to the breast, and we're fed from that place. Memory, we're fed from memory, we're fed from memory, and it's heart, lungs, air, I'm loved. And then we go off into the world, and we become distant from mother, and we become separated, and we come into our own heart space, heart love space, and then we become jaded by things that happen, detachment at, let's say, kindergarten for the first time, daycare, and mommy, and we become, that is a wound. We don't think of it as a wound, but that's a wound of separation. Just like when you take a stick off the tree, a little branch, it's still a wound on the tree. It's still a wound on the branch. So over a lifetime of that, our hearts become a lot jaded, and we become detached from our heart space, and we go into our head about the thinking, the ethos about thinking of that.
Yeah. And my clients can actually really relate to that, because so much of the relationship-oriented thinking is not feeling.
Yeah.
And I'll ask them, what is love? And they'll say, and I know I did this myself too early on, where love was intellectual, where it looked like this, and there were these rules, and there were these obligations to each other, and all of this stuff, and it wasn't heart-centered.
It's chocolates, it's Valentine's, it's lingerie, it's not that.
Yes.
But if I was to say, what is love? Ask myself that question, ask you that question. Or if you were to ask me, I would say, this is love. This is love. Being together before we came in front of the camera, and the conversation that took place. As you're speaking to me, as I'm telling you things, I'm burping, and my body is releasing, because we're coming together as beings. As beings doing, as beings who are in the doing of the being, and the being of the doing, I always say. There's no thinking in that. There's no talking about it. The conversation that's happening between you and I is love from the deepest, most sacred place that I can believe in. I don't want to say think of. I don't really want to use that word. Being in the love space for me is a feeling where I'm at all the time. Now, they say, and it's funny that I posted this on social media the other day, paralysis through analysis. I don't live my life under my own microscope. I can't. But my emotional body, when something bothers me, I'll let it bother me. I'll let it anger me. I'll have the anger, I'll have the fear, I'll have the tears, the anxiety, and walk myself through that, breathe myself through that. When I do ceremony, when I'm doing videos, when I'm drumming, I will just allow the release to happen as I'm breathing. And what happens is my exhales are far longer than my inhales. See, because we inhale into the stuck space, the wound, but we exhale that wound out.
Yeah. So much of your work, which is very different, but yet with the same purpose as mine, about the heart. It's about love. And I talk a lot about the love vibration and how to raise your vibration and how to get in the energy of love. And I think that's where a lot of people have it wrong, just like I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, sometimes I listen to people tell me what kind of relationship they're experiencing. I say, what is the love vibration? Like, what is the energy of love? It's not, you do this for me and now I owe you, or this is part of our story and this needs to work out. It's like, the love vibration is something that needs to be nurtured, and you can only share that and nurture that in a relationship if both parties are taking care of themselves that way.
The low vibration of traditional love.
Yes.
And you hear what I said? The low vibration of traditional love comes from desperation. Where are we running from? What happened to us before that we didn't get picked up as a child? You know, we raise uppy. We want to be picked up, and we never get picked up for a lifetime. We're molested. Daddy leaves, mommy leaves, somebody dies. And we become desperate in our wanting of love, and it becomes external. Love is not external. Love is internal. The loving of the self, the giving to the self, the nurturing of the nature of who and what I have always been and still am, despite the messaging that I got growing up. Now, saying that, because I carry myself that way and I say, hello, how are you? I see you. I not just see you, I see you. I feel you. And while we were conversing here earlier, I'm having that experience of feeling you, seeing you. I'm he who is aware. I'm he who knows. I'm he who sees, he who feels, he who hears. So the aspects of love for me have transformed, and it's not about red roses and all the traditional silliness of that
which,
Hallmark
by the way,
sells.
if you want to send me red roses and chocolates, please do. I encourage it thoroughly, but it doesn't buy anything.
It doesn't endear you to me.
No, it's just it's a loving gesture. If people want to give gifts and things like that, or acts of service, all of it. But yet, even in that, there's not the love vibration.
So,
right?
Love people feel is an obligation.
Yes.
Obligation is no reason to do anything. Even with parents. I'm not obligated to love my parents. They brought me into this world. Well, so what? I didn't ask for their participation in that. But my soul contracts aren't up to me. Their soul contracts for me are up to Great Spirit, Great Mother, the guides, the spirit guides, the spirit animals. They direct me in the way that I should go, and when the contract comes up, I'll deal with it on the spot. But I don't allow people to force things on me.
And thank God for the spiritual path, the awakening, the maturity into that energy, because I started living my life differently too, and not feeling obligated or pulled to do things that I didn't feel were in alignment with me. Where when I was younger, I would feel guilty if I didn't go. I'd talk myself through it. And a lot of times that would be like, family things, group gatherings, or things that I just were socially obligated to attend.
Right.
And I was like, who says you have to do that? So I think a lot of what you're talking about with your work and your heart-centered healing, your transformational work, getting into the wounds, releasing that through the drumbeat, as a way of bringing you back to your heartbeat, bringing you connected into your body, the way that you explain it.
Yeah.
That helps people get into this free, clear space. It helps them release so that they can embody higher vibrations of love.
Yeah. Yeah. Playing the drum, the heartbeat of the drum to the heartbeat of the soul, right? We start there, and then what happens is when I do journey, I go into flight as crow, as walking crow. I go into flight mode. I used to drum and it was simply boom, 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 boom. But shamanic drumming, and I call it shamanic drumming, is monotonous drumming. And what started happening was I started drumming in a monotonous fashion. And what I realized is, as crow, I was flying through the trees, I was flying through the canyons and up and down and got gliding and over water. In fact, there was a time where I was doing a journey, taking a group on a journey in Hollywood. And when I finished drumming, I sat down. And as soon as I sat down, I could see myself flying through the trees. And when I came out of the trees, I came over a lake, a body of water, and it was shimmering golden light. And what I heard was, you are the shimmering light. You are the sun, S-O-N-S-U-N. And I said, okay, I am the shimmering light. I am the sun. I am S-O-N-S-U-N. And whenever I say, happy Sunday, S-O-N-S-U-N, it stayed with me.
Yeah.
And I look for the meaning in that. What was the meaning of that? The meaning of that was the love that I felt in my heart. And you heard me breathe, and I felt the emotion that I felt in my body. And that was an emotion that I had missed growing up, that I was so desperate for love and to be loved. I didn't know how to be with what was being given to me at any particular given moment.
Well, there's a lot of distortions around love, and people are experiencing whatever version was modeled for them, whatever version they felt addicted to or replayed patterning and all of that. So it's really good. Any kind of practice that's mindful, that brings you back to a pure energy with yourself, a truth with yourself, an energy of self-love, where then you can start to vibrate and radiate and attract the same from other people. It always starts here. I tell people that all the time, and they always want to skip that step. But I'm like, that is the step. That is the only step that's important.
If you watch social media, you watch these posts, and people they badmouth men, they badmouth women, and they talk about what love is. And one of these days, I'm going to find true love. Well, you're looking for love in all the wrong places. All the song. We're so desperate. We look in all the wrong places, and we make all the wrong choices. And we think that somebody is going to give us what we want. But the only person that could give me what I want is walking crow.
Yes.
And I say yes to me. When I stepped into my medicine, it was through the yeses, through the yeses. And after a lifetime of saying no to myself because I didn't feel worthy of me. Why would I? That's not what I was taught. Do as I say, do as I do.
Right.
Go outside, be quiet.
Right. And that's not uncommon. Many people go through their whole lives feeling unworthy and undeserving. So if you're feeling that way, just know that that's really, really part of humanity, that most people are programmed at some point to feel that way. And it's your job and responsibility to heal those wounds, so you can come into more fullness with yourself and who you are, your life path, and what you came here to do, which was to be love, to be loving to yourself and to love other people around you. And in that energy, you will bring it in, and you will experience it in all relationships that you have.
I often post with pictures of myself on social media, and I'll say, I am love. I am loved. I am loved. I love. I am love.
That's nice.
And and in today's world, in the seemingly macho world, which masks a lot of hurt and wounds, I say what I want to in front of men, in front of the world, and I don't apologize for what I say. I don't apologize. I don't say I'm sorry for what the teachings that come out of my mouth that the spirits have given me. There is, when COVID started, there was a mantra that was given to me. And I tell people, take your left hand, place it over your heart. Take your right hand, place it over your left hand over heart. Creating the completion of the circle of love of expression of love for the self. Heart, expression, fifth chakra. And I ask people to repeat after me. I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like.
Say it again.
I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like.
I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like.
I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like.
I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like.
And a third time,
yes.
And I say it the third time for spirit, for communication with spirit and spiritual communication and new beginnings. I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like.
I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like.
Number 4 is you are where love lives, and you are what hope looks like.
You are where love lives, and you are what hope looks like.
And then the 5th one is we are where love lives, and we are what hope looks like.
Okay.
We are where love lives, and we are what hope looks like. So saying that, speaking to myself that way as the I, and then giving it to you, reflecting it as you. I see you and you reflect who I am, because a lot of times people are already in tears when I'm saying that. And when I get to the we, it brings it all together. The 5 is a number of freedom. So we say it 5 times, but we say the first 3 times as me, as I, to communicate that through spirit. And so it's spiritual communication, and springtime is a number 3, new beginnings. 4th is foundational. You, I'm sharing that with you. And 5 is freedom, and that's the we. We find freedom in we find freedom in each other. And for me, that's true love.
Yes.
As you and I were speaking earlier, I could feel you, and I'm like, this is nice. I'm usually working at home by myself during the day, but to have somebody here and to feel the energies shift in me, because it's warm and it's fuzzy and there's a lot of reasons here to feel the energy. But honestly, Creator, Great Spirit, has given me different eyes to view and feel and see the world with, from this place, not this place.
Yeah, and that's just authentic connection, truth, getting out of your ego and just connecting with another human. And I think that, bringing it back to your drumming, I think that is such a beautiful way to get you back. Like you always say that it brings you back into your body so that you're not floating up here. And I think if people were more in their body, why are we always leaving that? Why are we jumping out?
If people were more embodied, right? They walk around headless. There's nothing that happens up. This is ether. You can't taste it. You can't eat it. You can't smell it. You can't, nothing. There's nothing. You float in it. I often say, I said this to you earlier, astronauts wear spacesuits to live up in here, up in here. But if I play the drum, I allow myself to connect with my heart, even though it's a different rhythm. What happens is the heart, the rhythm, and the drum rhythm starts to align, and they become one, even though we are not aware of it. We're just drumming, but we become one and we become aligned, and those things start to fall away. When I drum over somebody or they come to a journey with me and we do 20 to 25 minutes and they say, oh my God, I feel so wonderful. I feel so aligned. Well, do you want to stay aligned? Because you're going to go back into your world.
Yes.
You're going to go out the door into your world. What do you want to do, or what are you willing to do to maintain that for yourself? You can set up an appointment with me and be mentored. You can buy a drum. You can buy a rattle. I can teach you to drum. I can teach you to rattle. What is it that you want really? Really? And I say it that way because people tell you what they want and they disappear. So they don't, I poke the bear with the stick with really.
Right.
Don't lie to me, because I see you. Right? I see you because I had to look and face myself in the mirror for a lifetime of failure and disappointments and low self-worth and low self-esteem and constant self-destruction over and over and over, because I was distracted by the world. And I always say, Distraction is destruction. I can be distracted by the world and I'll get pulled right into it, right out of my body, right out of my soul, and I'm back living up in here.
Mm-hmm. And the drumming is such a beautiful way. It's so grounding and so, it works with the vibrations. So as you mentioned, it's like the heartbeat, but it's also like the earth has a heartbeat, nature has a heartbeat, and there's a vibration that works with your own energy. It's as if it shakes out the stuff that's stuck in there, right? The problems, the energy, the things you hold on to, shame, blaming, guilt. It's like lodged in your energy field, sometimes also in your body, and the drumming like shakes it loose.
Well, when I went like this up in here, see, this is deer buck medicine. I always say, if you're paying attention, the full moon is about endings. The buck stops here, right? It's a poor way to represent antlers, but I could use another word, but the buck stops here. Yes or no? The Bible says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. It doesn't say, I don't know, or give me a minute. It doesn't say any of that. Yes be yes or your no be no. But be specific and intentional about what you want. America is not intentional by any means. And to find intention, you're intentional. I'm intentional. But it's taken us a long time to get to point B. And if you're willing to sit on your and do nothing, and you feel like the laurels are the best place to be, well, good luck to you. I won't see you in the next world or the next whatever. You'll evaporate and you'll be gone. I don't want to be evaporated. Now, I've come to terms with dying, right? But one of the things that I know, despite what happens to me when I go, if anybody cries or anybody laughs or anybody tells jokes or stories about me, it doesn't matter. The legacy that I leave behind is so powerful, it'll be here for eons. And I will move on to the different realm. I'll be up in the north with the spirit guides, with the elders, with our ancestors, a whole crossed arm and watching, going, whoop, there they go again. I don't have to stay here.
I think drumming is, like you mentioned earlier, the difference between emotional healing drumming versus trance or shamanic drumming to put you in trance to connect with the ancestors. So one is more repetitive, like the trance. And then the other one's more like as you feel it. You're just...
Well, as when I drum, it's intentional. There's a purpose for it, right? But when I sing the songs, I o nana o I o nana o I o nana o I o nana o. It's a spirit language. I'm going to put my hands on you, if that's okay, on your back and on your heart.
Okay.
And I'm going to sing it into your ear in the way that the ancients sing it to me.
Okay.
I will love you, my child. Oh, not the English. I o nana o I o nana o I o nana o I o nana o I will love you, my child. I will love me, my child. I will love you, my child. I will love me, my child. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. I will. I oh nana oh I oh nana oh I. So the sound of my voice, the sound of the drum reflects where my voice went in the spirit world, in the body, in the heart, in the lungs, in the tongue, and back to mother.
Energy, like I could feel vibrations, like just
right.
leaving.
It just what happens. It allows itself to really see. I just look at my arms. The veins of my. If you could see the veins of my arms right now. I'm singing to your soul. It's called. I'm singing. I'm doing soul singing. When the African Americans were in the field and they were singing gospel songs. They were singing from the darkest. Pardon the expression, the darkest, deepest places that you could sing from. The pain, the toil, leaving the motherland and being taken from and taken to. They had no control. I have full control now. I allow myself to go inside and to love you and sing to you the way that I want to sing to me. You got nothing to do with it. But the gift is I get to share it with you. And even the way that I talk about those things reflect the feeling that I have for the emotional body, the spiritual body, the shamanic body, and all that takes place in the stars, the moon, the sky, in our heart, in our lungs, in our liver, in our second chakra, in our sexual organs, in our feet, a foundation, in our hands as branches to the tree, the selfless tree that we can be. Aho. Now, we're talking about drumming and singing. I'm talking about drumming and singing. It changes the traditional, what I call hi, how are you drumming? Hi, how are you? Boom, 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 which came from Hollywood. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's not what I'm doing, because as soon as I left the branch and started flying, my drumming changed and I became one with the drumming. I became one with the flight, with crow, with the left wing, the right wing, the tail feathers that directed the flight and how it was going to go.
Now, do you have videos on that?
No, well, I do, because I talk about it in video on my YouTube channel. But people have a 30-second mindset of watching, and my videos are usually 30 minutes average.
Okay.
So and it gets lost on them sometimes.
Okay. When you come to work with Walking Crow, you will actually be able to experience this energy, and it's really great because I see as people. It's kind of like as we've moved through so many things. We went through COVID, we've had losses, we've had jobs, we've had moves, we've had all these different things thrown at us, and people have come out of their emotions because it was too intense. So they've kind of come into this very intellectual area or outside of their body where they're just choppy, they're short, they're making decisions. They're not in their body because it wasn't safe to be in their body for a while. It was frightening.
And they didn't want to be seen. They became accustomed to not being seen and maybe going online and doing things in a different way that was uncomfortable, but became their comfort zone of, I don't want people seeing me. Yeah. And you know what? Somebody like me who is totally embodied, I see you. You can run, but you can't hide.
Yeah. I mean, I highly recommend coming to his transformational drumming circle and experiencing his medicine to get back in your body, to get back in your feelings, and to just allow yourself to cry it out if that's what it takes when you come back in your body. Because it's just the process of coming back into alignment with what you're feeling. It's safe to feel your feelings.
And if you come to the Transformational Sacred Drum Studio, which is where we're standing, and you're on my bed and I'm drumming, allow yourself to go to sleep and feel free to allow the vibration of grandmother drum or bear drum or elk drum or buffalo drum to move through you. And I use tobacco to open the spiritual portal. I use sage that I harvest myself. And I smudge as I move through the body energetically, because I do an energetic healing after I'm done drumming. I will blow into your heart. I will blow and open up this portal to the heavens in the top of your head, in your ground, in your sacrum, in your fire, in your air. And I work elementally, so air, fire, water, and earth, ground in the lower chakra. And you know, there's always expression, but that's part of the ether. That's part of the ethos, all that's happening up here. And the idea is to come down from there, is to step down off the ladder, to jump out of the tree and jump into the body, to put your feet back on Mother Earth.
I think that's really important. I've been doing a lot of videos lately on grounding and connecting with Earth and the vibrations that Earth has shifted into. The best way to do that is to get outside with bare feet, get in the water, get on the land, spend time on Earth. And your drumming does that too.
Or also start to say and tell yourself and believe yourself to be grounded. I was trained as an energy healer, and one of the things they taught us to do was ground. And I'm glad they did. But my name is Walking Crow. So, and I live on Earth, and I showed you the painting. The reason I asked him to place roots. I walk on Earth, but I live in the heavens. I fly in the heavens. I am the keeper of the sacred law. I am alchemy. I am shape-shifting. I move from darkness to light. I live in both realms equally. So I don't go out of my way to get grounded. I am grounded. And if you watch my veins start popping up as soon as the energy starts flowing through because of my voice, the drumming, or my energy healing. People have convinced themselves that they're not grounded. So even if they go outside, they don't take off their shoes. They come to Sedona, I got to be on Mother Earth. And they go for a hike and they get in the car. They get in the back of the car. They don't even say, hello, Mother Earth. Hello, Sedona. I'm here. I love you. I can, I will, I do, I am. I'm here with you. Thank you.
And you guys know my journey. I've been sharing little bits of it here and there, but I always come and spend sacred time with Mother Earth and connect with all the elements and myself out in nature. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do, to come here, to experience Sedona, to come and meet and work with Walking Crow. Take his sacred drum, transformational healing circle, take your mentorship.
Healing sessions, shamanic sessions, mentorship, purchase a drum.
Oh my God, these are so beautiful. Can we show them?
Yeah.
Just pull one down.
We'll take this one.
And then look at these rattles.
This one was just made on 05/15/22 on the full moon.
So I want to share that. He births them. So they all have birthdays. And this is how you can identify each drum, as well as what kind of skin it is.
This is horse. And what's interesting about this drum, so 05/15/22 was the full blood rose eclipse moon. This is horsemen, and horse is freedom. Horse is power. Horse is humility, and horse is sovereignty. You and I are sovereign. We live for ourselves. We live on our own. We do what we do, and we don't apologize for what we do. Now,
yes, finally.
Blood moon. This was birthed on the blood moon. This has a hematoma across the face of it that the animal experienced. This was made on the blood moon, and it's in the drum. The blood is splattering. You can see that.
Wow, that's
right?
really something.
And if you hold it, if you can see the blood from behind, you see the animal. And then you start looking into the drum and you start seeing where the animal lived, the animals that surrounded this animal, where, the landscape. And it's just, some people would say, well, it's just a drum. No, it's not just a drum.
Every drum tells its story.
This is medicine. Yeah. So when the medicine man goes to the next village that they're warring with, he takes a white horse. Why does he take a white horse? Because horse is representative of power. He's showing his power. He wants to keep his power. So he goes next door to meet with the power broker over there. Horse is freedom. He wants his freedom, but he doesn't just want freedom for his people. He wants freedom for their people. He is He was taking the white horse to show his humility. It's a gift for that medicine man or chief of the next village. And he's sovereign. He wants to maintain his sovereignty, and he wants their sovereignty for them. What do you want for you? What will you tell yourself that you want? Really? No, really. Not just kid yourself and lie to yourself after a lifetime of New Year's resolution, right? How many of you have New Year's resolutions that 2 weeks later you're face down in a pizza box? So if you make restitution after a lifetime of failed resolutions, because coyote medicine comes in and says, no, it's time for you to self-destruct. Make resolution to yourself and be resolute in your calling, in your wanting, in your being, in your doing. Oh.
It's beautiful. And these are, what size is this?
This is an 18-inch.
So this is an 18-inch.
And
just
this is,
for comparison, this is,
right?
The size. And also explain, the wrap is one.
The ties are made from the hide of the animal. This is a hide, and there's only 3 pieces in this whole drum. The frame, what I call the grandmother, the tree, which is a frame, the hide, and the ties. This is made in one way. There are no knots here. And when I finish the drum, and by the way, every drum is tied differently because I do what the guides ask me to do. And there are no knots in the drum. The ending of the drum becomes twisted around and is open-ended to maintain that infinite nature of the vibration. And I learned that in technology. We would design systems, integrate systems that were open-ended for growth. Mm-hmm. So I carried over that knowledge into this.
Nice.
And they approved.
So these can be sent, if somebody does order these online, they see this video, they see your other videos, you have like 500 videos.
Yep.
So he's the real deal, okay? Like, you're gonna love your drum. It's gonna be drum medicine for you, and your connection to Walking Crow, every time you use it, you'll be able to tap in with him. So if you get his sessions, you want to drum with his drum, it'll tie you back into that energy every time and bring you back into your balance, your harmony. But they can order these in the United States. You're mailing to?
They can go to my website and order the size and kind of drum that they want, and I can ship all over the United States and Canada. Canada takes a little bit longer because of their customs. People get upset with me because they haven't received the drum. I said, well, I don't run the post office in Canada.
Yeah.
So you have to be patient. Be the patient in your own healing, and allow patience to move you through your healing. See, that's the guides give me that kind of talk.
So may I ask also? So if somebody does order from like Australia or the UK, are you willing to ship there?
I'm willing to ship there. I have shipped there. I've shipped to Switzerland, Northern Europe. The shipping costs apply, and whatever that is, and I won't know until it's packed in the box. And I go to the post office and they tell me how much it is, and then I get back to you. So it's a process. Yeah. Also, if there's a drum that calls to a particular animal, whether it's cow, deer, elk, buffalo, or horse, and sometimes moose, and you want to have a video conference, right? Because a lot of times it calls to you and you don't know why. So any of those animals that are on the wall, we will go into the next room and we will go into video conference, and I will play them for you so you can connect, or send you short videos of the sound and what they look like. And that way, if you're around the world, you can make a decision, an informed decision with the information, because you can hear and feel it. Now, I ask you just not to listen to the video or the video conference. I ask you to wear earbuds, headphones, and to listen to it like you're in the room, like you're standing here, because it's the most incredible feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about these? So this is one of your rattles.
These are the what I call the dual turtle rattles.
Wow.
And the turtle rattle honors the divine feminine. And I have a habit, and maybe to some people it's a bad habit. When I'm talking to divine feminine, I'm talking medicine, and you've noticed I touch your body because it's not just words, it's feeling, it's the emotional body. So the rabbit has 13 markings on the front, 13 markings on the back, which to me are symbolic of the 13 moons of the divine feminine. So I honor with the rattle and the medicine, the rabbit fur that's usually on the collar is it balances out the female and the male energy. And I inlay with turquoise, I inlay with red jasper, shungite, and different kinds of stones. Wow. And you can see that on both turtles. Turtles will be different. Like this turtle is more developed. These are map turtles, and this is more developed than this one. It's okay. It's their own energy.
Yeah, they're all unique.
But look at the markings on the back, and they're unique in their markings. So
yeah, let us show them like really close. You can see what he's talking about here, where like the what do you call it? Like almost like a spine.
Yeah.
How it's raised.
Yeah.
And then here, like some of the markings that make it so pretty. Yeah, this is really extraordinary.
Each rabbit is unique. Excuse me, each rabbit. Well, yeah, each rabbit is unique, but each turtle is unique in itself, just like every mother is unique. Not all mothers can bear children. Not all mothers will bear children. Not all mothers, unfortunately, should bear children. But the mother, the divine feminine is honorable because she is honorable. If without the divine feminine, I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. She wouldn't be here. So it's a constant circulation of grandfather sun and grandmother moon coming together and going to bed at sunset with each other, with their beloveds, their prospective beloveds, sun and moon, and that's creation. In the ocean, EMOCEAN. Now, ever since that came to me, I say it every time the same way.
Yeah.
I don't spell ocean, I spell emotion in the ocean way. So a rattle like this will cost you $250. Sometimes it's $265, depending on the rattle and depending on the materials that it's made with.
Yeah, you should have heard it too. Like once the drums start going in circle, like if you're doing this with your friends, if you want to start drumming for your own medicine and your own, buy a drum and use it in your own backyard with your bonfire. Have some friends over and drum. Drum is community. Drum for love. Drum your emotions.
Right.
There's so many different ways to celebrate through drumming, and the rattles are such a beautiful addition to that. You could everything is shaking inside your body because the vibrations are moving your energy. It's moving out the old energies.
And for those of you who may not, there's a lot of aspects to what I do, and tobacco is a huge aspect. When we do fire ceremony on the full moon, we take tobacco with our left hand of receiving, right? We don't want to put our energy into the tobacco with our right hand. So I ask everybody, take a little bit of tobacco with your left hand, place it into your right hand of giving. Close your hand. I can feel your heart. Right? And I ask them, take your left hand, place it over your heart. Take your right hand with tobacco, place it over left hand over heart. And completing the circle of expression of love for the self, right? Completing that circle. Now it's a crooked circle, but it's still a completion. And allow yourself to create the intention of what you would like to let go. Now you have to empty the cup to fill the cup. So what do I want to let go of? What is the buck that stops here, right, on the full moon? And I will sing, and I will ask you to create the intention of what you would like to release and what you would like to receive. It's about ebb and flow. There's a reciprocity to the letting go. And those things are in the tobacco. And when I finish singing and I just start drumming gently, I invite everybody to offer that tobacco to the fire. It doesn't have to be a lot of tobacco, just enough to hold your intention. So if you're at home and you want to do ceremony on your own, reach out to me and learn how. I will tell you, I will teach you.
Yeah.
That way you can be embodied in what you're learning, and not just a student of reading. There's a lot of people who read a lot of things, but they don't know a lot of things. They don't know how to apply that. There's a lot of people who go to shamanic schools, but they don't know how to apply the application of what it is they learn, because they just spent time. They got the certificate.
Again, it's the intellectual versus the embodiment.
The embodiment. And I have embodied everything that I work with, and I'm grateful because I was raised rebellious. I was angry, and I was hurt, and I was punk rock. You're from Orange County, punk rock, and it was you and it was me. No, now it's us. I'm in the being of my doing and the doing of my being, and I don't just say this stuff to be cute. I live this. I embody it. Now I'm speaking right now, and there's a weird echo in this room. It's because our voices are activating the drums around us. That's medicine. That's energy. That's spirit. The animals are calling to you, and you should know that.
Yes, absolutely. So they do want to get a hold of you. So they want to get a hold of you for private sessions, mentoring,
private sessions, healing. Mentoring, healing,
events. He's here in Sedona, of course. So when you come to Sedona, if you're coming to my retreat, my Let Go and Level Up retreat in September, you want to probably stay an extra day at least to work with Walking Crow.
By the way, when I first came to Sedona, I came in September 2017.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Right.
Oh, wow. It is really echoing. I can tell.
Right.
Yeah.
So the synchronicity of how the medicines roll out between us, two people who didn't know each other before Friday, but we did know each other. We are stars in the heavens. We are drops of water in the ocean. We are not the ocean, but we are part of the ocean, and we reflect each other. The stars reflect each other. We reflect the light that we are. So I knew my sister was coming. I just didn't know when she was going to be here. And here we are.
Here we are. And here you are. So come to Sedona and work with us, you guys. You're going to love it, and just have your life transformed and clear off, shift your vibrational frequency from especially the last few years, but even all the way back to your birth and before. So come to Sedona and see us. Here's like a flyer for him right here. I will post a link to your website below this video. So it is sacreddrummedicine.com. And I will put his information below this video. So I'll also have my information on there if you have any questions. And gosh, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, it was wonderful.
Such a pleasure.
Yes. You guys, if you enjoyed meeting Walking Crow today, tell me down in the comments below. If you have questions for him, if you just want to reach out and tell him hello, that you're looking forward to meeting him in September, or that you're really, really interested in checking out his drums and all of his healing services, let us know that down in the comments.
Oh.
All right. Thanks, you guys. If you like this video, be sure to give me a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see you in the next video.
And thank you for having me, folks. And remember, be in the doing of the being and the being of the doing. Nothing ever happened by talking about it. Oh.
Nice. I feel like I should give you a hug.